We've reached 1.91 million trees. It's still taking a few, but it's going very slowly about it. It's official. The game crashed at not quite 2 million trees, so we need to start all over again. Remember this game? I know I do. With so many people pretending to plant 20 million trees in other games recently, it led me to the question, is it actually possible to plant 20 million trees in Stardew Valley? Turns out I think it actually is, and that's what we're gonna do today, 20 million trees. This is not a tree, but she has a lot of similarities with a tree. They're both stupid, and that's not supposed to be there. I'm actually gonna have to remove anything like that probably to make this work. That looks much better. Now trees naturally grow throughout your farm, and letting them grow and spread by themselves just takes too long. You can speed up this process by planting your own, but even that's still gonna take quite a while to do. Plus, going through that massive effort, you're still only gonna have about 3,400 trees, which is less than half of the 20 million we're looking for. Plus, you're also just going to be super annoyed every time you try and leave your house. Interestingly, you can also plant trees outside of your farm all around the map if you are able to hoe the space first. There is a mod we could use that makes basically every space in the game hoeable, but unfortunately it's not working for me right now. And that's not a big deal, because even if you fill every single space in Stardew Valley with a tree, you're going to wind up with somewhere in the neighborhood of 25,000, which is still less than half of what we need for our 20 million. Luckily, I know a programmer who's willing to do ridiculous things for me, and that means now if I press T, it takes us to this place, which for the observant among you is a really big open area. This map is a modest 100 by 1000 spaces. Now I know what you're thinking, that's only 100,000 spaces. Well, it's a good thing we've got 750 of these to fill with trees. The good news now is I can plant trees this fast. And it even keeps track of the number for me. There's 250 trees already. The bad news is I'm really only moving this fast. Look at that number in the bottom left. I've planted a little over 1,000 trees. So while I'm moving fast, this is still going to take a while. But anything worthwhile does take a while. I'm doing it for the trees. And I can make the radius bigger, but everything does slow down quite a bit when I do. It's still faster, but I'm going to have to be careful with this because I also don't want to crash the game at any point. But since we're still early on in experimenting, let's try and make it just a little bigger. So if we do that, we now have... I can't even see the size of the radius, but it's clearly pretty big because we're now at 16,000 trees planted. It's also pretty hard at this point to see the edges of the map. As long as things are scrolling, I know I'm still good, but if it stops scrolling, it means I've ran out of the map, and I could continue running for a long time without noticing. I think I can even actually plant outside of the map. The number of trees is going up, and I know everything south of me has already been planted, so that's kind of interesting. We're at 31,000 trees planted. I know this one will be done when I'm at about 100,000. So this is what I do with my time. The game's getting pretty laggy already, so I'm kind of nervous about that. We're at about 50,000 planted. I'll see if it can make it all the way to the 100,000. If not, we might have to try and do like 50,000 per map. In case you're wondering, I do have a mod that lets me walk through anything. That's why I'm able to do this. Otherwise, I'd clearly walk into the trees that I'm spawning. I've managed to find my way to the right side of the map. We got this one about 3/4 full because we're at about 75,000 trees. I can kind of see where I am because it makes a little dark spot behind the trees, but it's still pretty easy to lose track. I regret not doing a better job keeping track, because I don't know where the trees need to be planted now. Apparently they're to the left, but I don't really know where the spaces are because I can't see anything. I may have a solution for that. The game is running a little bit slow, as you can tell by my cursor movement at this point. Okay, forget that for a minute. I'm going to try and finish this map, get my 100,000 trees. We'll mess with the menu on the next map, which hopefully runs smoother. We've got 86,000 trees planted. I can't find where that last 14,000 are, so we're just going to go ahead and skip to the next map. We've got extra maps to work with anyway, so it's not a big deal. I just got a notification. You filled this place. Let's move on to field number 2. When I do hit 100,000, it's supposed to automatically teleport me to the next field. I don't know if I did that manually or if I found the gap I needed. I think I did it manually because I'm still planting a lot of trees, but it does run a lot better on the new map. So I'm maybe going to go with 50,000 trees per map for now, just so it runs pretty smoothly. But just like that, we've hit 100,000 trees planted. So we only got a lot more to go. About 20 times the amount. But like I said, I'm going to try and do about 50,000 trees per map, and hopefully we get away with that. There's 150,000. Let's see if we can find a way to the new map. It's having trouble registering my keystrokes. That's why it's so hard. Anyways, field number 3, here we go. As soon as I move, it's going to plant a bunch of trees. It feels so nice every time I start a new map, like it's nice and smooth. And as I move, we get to plant lots and lots of trees. Once I hit 200,000, on to the next one. This so far is actually going a lot better than I thought it would. It seems to slow down really badly at around the 50,000 tree mark. Luckily, we're already there. On to the next map. While I'm here and things are running smoothly, I want to try and zoom it out so we can really get a scope of how many trees are being planted. This is as far out as I can currently go. You can see my character standing in the upper left. We were playing as far zoomed in as possible. We're now zoomed out as far as possible. And I turned my spawn size back down, so we're back down to single trees just to see what it looks like. And to give you guys a bit of the scale we're working on, 20 million trees should speak for itself, but this will help to emphasize it just a little bit. So it should be 100 spaces top to bottom, which looks something like this. So if we want to run it hamburger style, it still takes quite a while, even running at speed 10. Anyways, let's turn our tree radius back up to 10, 100. 100 might be as big as we can really go anyways. That should do top to bottom, provided I'm standing in the middle. And this, excitingly, is what it looks like zoomed all the way out while spawning trees. This is going to be what I'm staring at for the next hour, few hours. We'll see how this goes. To add a little perspective to this, my radius is 100. That means as soon as I move, I spawn 1,000 trees into existence. 1,000 trees is enough to cover 1/3 of my entire farm. And given that we've now spawned well over 300,000 trees, that would be enough to cover our farm over 100 times. There's 500,000 trees planted. Did I say we were 1/20th of the way there earlier? I was way wrong at my math. Considering now that we've planted 500,000 trees, we're 1/40th of the way there. Before I get too far into this, I'm going to try something risky now. I want to try and turn my radius up to 200 just to make this process a little faster, as long as the computer can handle it without crashing. Obviously if it crashes, I'm going to lose all my progress. And I've just noted now that I'll slow down more when I walk through the trees. If I'm out in the open, don't have that problem. Anyways, here we go. 10, 100, 200. Will the game crash? Will I have to redo all this progress? Nope, so far it's fine with it. Just as slow as it ever was. Not sure if this is actually any faster, but we're gonna roll with this for now. Finally coming up on our first million trees. Let's just take a moment to appreciate that. 1 million trees. That's 1,000 thousands. Even doing it the cheating, easy way, that still took a long time. And we've only got 20 more of those to go. So go ahead and hit that like button, because this is a lot of fun. But anything for the trees. So in case you're wondering, I'm gonna have to do this 400 times. Fill 400 of these fields with my trees. There'd better be a magnificent goddamn message once I hit 20 million. Good news. Not sure if it's recording right now. I think the game is crashing. Nope, there we go. We're okay. We're at 1.8 million trees. I guess that was just a false alarm to let me know what I have to look forward to in the future. I can't even begin to describe to you the feeling I get now, knowing that the game could crash. Like right now, I don't know what it's doing. It just froze. It seems a little hesitant to want to accept any more trees into its life, and I don't know if I blame it. We've reached 1.91 million trees. It's still taking a few, but it's going very slowly about it. It's official. The game crashed at not quite 2 million trees, so we need to start all over again. Shockingly, I actually see this as an opportunity. Now that I understand what it is I'm doing a little better, I can experiment with a few things to hopefully make this better. If I lose my progress now, I don't care because I've currently got 0 trees planted. So let's run ourselves out somewhere into the middle of this and see how big of a radius of trees we can spawn before the game crashes. So there's 1, 10, 100, 200, which is what we were using last time. Can we do 300? We can. And that instantly spawned 30,000 trees. As we walk, it's faster than ever, but the game definitely goes pretty slow pretty quickly. But I just don't feel good if I'm not breaking something. So let's maybe try a modest 1,000. That would actually be really good because all I would have to do is take one step on every level and be done. That actually worked pretty well. 111,000 trees from taking one step. I like where this is going. Hey kids, this is how you turn a disaster into something worthwhile. We had less trees spawn there for some reason, probably because I'm in the corner of the map. I'm not going to question it. I am, however, going to do something stupid and turn the radius up even bigger. Spawn size increased to 1,100. What were we at before? Let's go up to 2,000. We double down? How's this going to work? That worked. It automatically spawned me to the next map. It didn't even tell me how many there were. And okay, we filled field number 6. It's not really telling me how many trees there are, but I know that I am getting at least 100,000 down every time because it's moving me to the next map. I do have a chance in between when I get this screen to adjust the amount of trees being spawned, but I'm going to leave it at 2,000 for now because this is actually working, and more importantly, it's actually working pretty quickly. This map, since I have a moment to breathe, I'm going to turn it down to way less than that, 10, maybe even 1. How many trees are we at? 1,360,000. Okay, this is way faster. I like this much better. Definitely still nervous about things crashing, which it almost did there, and might have still done. Look, if this was going to be easy, everyone would be doing it. I didn't want this to be an easy process. It should be a struggle to do 20 million anything. Many hours later, I think we have the issues resolved. We should be good to go. Before we get back to it, what happens if we try and spawn trees here on the farm? Does that work? That doesn't work. Here we go. Should be able to get past 2 million trees without it crashing today. We're going to turn it back up to 2,000. As soon as I take a step, boom, trees. Transported to the next area, off we go. I'll see you guys in 6 hours. Okay, we've learned something. I'm going to turn the radius of trees down a little bit because the game is still acting pretty sketchy to me and I don't want it to crash. But also, how many trees are we at already? 801,000. Great. My experiment failed anyway. I'm going to leave it at 2,000 and just hope we make it. Never mind, we're good now. The game just wanted to stop and think for a minute. Which is great because this idea isn't taking long enough already. Turns out that was a very real crash, not one of those "oh, I'm just kidding" crashes. So we went back to the drawing board on the mod one more time and I think we've got our solution, which has nothing to do with my position on the map, but we have that to look at now too. Basically the way this is going to work is we're going to go up to 10 million trees, then we're going to need to restart the game to get up to 20 million trees. The counter is going to keep going with us all the way up to 20 million. It's just that the game can't be pushed past about 12 million trees, so I just had to break it into 2 segments. We're still going to plant 20 million trees, actually factually, we're just going to have to do it in 2 separate events. Even while we've been talking, that's been 1,000 trees right there. Anyways, I'll let you guys know when we're at an actually interesting number. We just broke 1 million trees and everything feels really good, and it's a lot quicker than it was before, so that's a nice change. And there it is, we broke past 2 million trees, that's where it kept crashing before, so we're into new territory. And there's 5 million, that's not too bad at all. The mod just started slowing down just a little bit right now, just as we're coming up to 10 million. I assumed it would because I think the maximum we can do is about 12 million, so it should slow down as we approach that number. Please restart your game without saving to prevent memory exceptions. And we're back without saving. The first thing I'm going to do is zoom ourselves way out so we get a little bit of a different perspective, because I know it's a lot of fun just watching me plant trees again and again. So let's see if this counter actually works and it's going to follow us through. It should start to reading off at somewhere around 10 million. Yep, 10 million 30 trees. 10 million 30? It seems to be stuck at about 10 million 30. That's because we're not moving. I get it now. That's better. Alright, well we're on the home stretch now. All we gotta do is plant another 10 million trees. That shouldn't take too long, provided we don't have any more crashes. We've just passed the 17 million tree mark. We're at 19 million trees, coming up pretty shortly to 20 million. And there it is. You planted 20 million trees. You saved Stardew Valley. What they don't know is what I'm going to do with the trees now that they're planted. Well, that was sure an interesting and long process. I really wasn't sure if that was possible when we dove into this project, but as it turns out it was. All you need to do is know a talented programmer. But these are the kind of stupid ideas and projects that I love. If you guys want to plant some trees for your own, I'll try and find a link, throw it down there in the description. Support this great cause. That's it. Okay, bye.